Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Drea the Artist. I'm a painter, educator, and meditation guide. Today, I'm coming to talk to y'all just about some insights that I'm having around finding myself, going into those deep spaces, and I have my beautiful painting here to illustrate. So it's currently 5:30 in the morning. I've been up since 2 a.m. I went to a graduation party yesterday, came home and went to sleep at like 8 something. And I said I was gonna take a nap. But I woke up at 2 a.m. and I cooked, washed dishes, did some work for something else, and now I'm in the process of painting. This is so much coming out of me because it's my first time like actually being intentional about a message, and not just a message or a general theme like I normally would, but like having an in-depth meaning and process and strategic thinking about all of the different elements that I'm putting onto this painting, right? Because my process normally, like, I'll just draw a face and then kind of put my symbols and my kind of style on top of it. But it's never anything super elaborate like this that actually takes time and where like every little thing has all the details. But essentially, this painting is about saving yourself. It's about going into the deep places and retrieving those versions of you that you've locked up, that you've abandoned, that you've left behind, that are in the darkness. And so there's different elements that I still have not added to this painting. But I mean, okay, I'll start here and then I'll go outwards. So this is a person that is swimming underwater. This is the ocean right here. And so this right here represents really like a mosaic on a swimming pool. But it's also underwater, and it's like the upper layer of the ocean where you still see some of the sunlight, but then you drop down into the darkness where it's black. And so I have this octopus. I changed the colors up of it just because it represents light, as well as this person, but this is really like this another representation of the sun here. You can see that I'm like jumping all over the place because that's how my brain works. And so under here, there's a person that's going to be crawling. At first, there's supposed to be like 4 different cages down here with different people in them. But for now, I just have one person. And I have like this staircase leading down to where it could drop down into where this person is. But I want you to get that all of these different people represent the same person. Like they represent different aspects within that person. And so here is the person that is the light in the darkness. You know, like this is the sun underwater. This person is on their way, finding their way to be able to retrieve this person. So I won't call this person God, but again, more of a sun figure. And then this person being the human that is going to find themselves. They're on the search. Up here is that person. This is almost like the portal that they're looking into to then find all of these things, right? And so that's why they have their back to us, because they're contemplating, they're thinking, they're meditating. And there's going to be, again, I think I'm going to have people walking over here. There's going to be a ladder because this is basically an iceberg over here. And so this is all underwater. So I'm going to be doing some paper collage here. But all of this is happening inside of this person right here, right? And yeah, my process is normally like I'll see the structure for the painting, you know, so in this case, again, it was more of me sketching. Normally I don't sketch, but planning a lot of different things. But I still don't know what it's going to look like when it's finished, you know? I don't know what spontaneous differences or spontaneous changes that I'll make, or, you know, things that just come and I add them. And so I very much have a give and take relationship with my creative process, you know? Like when I receive the vision, I will absolutely execute. But if I don't know what to do, I'm going to wait. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to pause. And so that just represents how I operate in my life, you know? Like walking in the unknown, walking into the darkness, like I am that light, right? And I also receive light, and I receive the guidance on where to shine, and how to access my inner self. And so speaking of that, I want to share a journal entry that I did last night, because I had so many breakthroughs. So for those of y'all that don't know, I teach high school art, and yesterday was our last day of work. We had graduations and everything. And when I got home, it was like my energy for so long has been wanting to get on this painting and just go hard because I have a show coming up and just a lot of things that I have to work on. And initially, I was just going to jump into it, just get to work. But it's like, no, let me stop, let me pause, let me reflect over the year that I've had, so that I can truly transition and process the experiences that I had, to then take this new version of myself into my future that is diving into this painting. And in that process, I took a bath. It was so relaxing, so releasing, so relieving. But in that process, I just started getting a lot of different breakthroughs around different things. And something that is in the darkness, or really all my life has been one of those things, is my weight. I grew up chunky, where I was the home girl with all the homeboys because I'm not one of these desirable girls running around here, right? And so my weight and the way that I look has always been something I've been hyper focused on. And so lately I've been feeling like, I'm gaining weight, I'm getting older, I need to work out. These clothes ain't fitting no more. And like, I need a trainer, right? So I found somebody that I could possibly train with, because I've had trainers before, like growing up, I hated working out, but now I really can do it. Even if I might complain, like, I'm gonna get to work, right? And so I feel like I've been needing a trainer so I can go ahead and get this weight off of me, because your girl can't fit these clothes the same way they was fitting. And I'm gonna go ahead and read this entry at this point. Also, before I read this, like, I do want to give context for some things that are going to be said here. I referenced D-thickness. That was my nickname in high school, okay? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. So I said, I just had this huge breakthrough / understanding around my body. Nothing is wrong with my body. Nothing is wrong with my weight. I look good. Just thinking about it. If D thickness was 150, I weighed 150 pounds for a very long time. But if D thickness was 150 and I wasn't overtly ashamed of her, could you imagine she'd be 40 pounds heavier 10 years later? So I'm pushing 185 right now. This is the heaviest I done weighed in my life. But could you imagine she'd be 40 pounds heavier 10 years later? Hell, if you ask me, that's pretty damn good. That's an average growth rate of 4 pounds per year. If y'all can't tell, I'm very mathematic. Average growth rate of 4 pounds per year. That's nothing. I look great. I just need to buy new clothes that fit me. I can't be wearing stuff from 3 years ago and expect it to fit the same. I am different. I'm grown. New swaggy clothes that fit my new body size is what I want. I don't need to go on some heavy workout binge. I just need to introduce small lifestyle changes. Walking, riding bikes, dancing. Anything to get my body active is enough. Don't fight the process of getting older by overcompensating in an attempt to remain or return to your old self. You will never be who you were 10 years ago again. You have to be the new, updated version of yourself. And so I feel like there's so many different things that I could break down within that journal entry. But that journal entry in itself is an act of me going into a deep place and retrieving myself. I went into the insecurity, into the version of me that is self-conscious about her weight and the way that she appears, and reaffirmed that, baby girl, you grown now. I gave her a new lens to look through, a new measure to account herself against. And so rather than comparing herself to what she thinks she should have been as a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 9-year-old, all of their ages, regardless of what she thought then, that has nothing to do with the present moment. That has nothing to do with who she is now. That has nothing to do with how she feels about the way she looks now. And so I reference the version of me that I've seen as separate as me so that I can bring her into the new reality of, baby girl, I look good. Okay. I know y'all see me in my rags because I'm painting right now, but I look good and I feel good. And there's no reason I should be feeling like I need to overcompensate to get back to who I used to be. And so this whole me processing out loud for y'all is, again, to show you what it looks like to go into those deep places, to retrieve yourself. And so I have an activity that I would love for you to do if you have the space and the time. We want to sit here and really identify what versions of you are deep in the water. What versions of you have you hidden from yourself that you're ashamed of, that you have abandoned, that you have left behind, that you tried to forget? Who are they? How old are they? What were their ages? What were they like? And then your next question is, how can you bring them into your present reality? Not the future where you haven't been yet, not the past where you no longer belong, but right here, right now where you're sitting. And the last time we talked was about sitting right here, right now and observing what's around you, right? But now we're being more specific about, okay, who is in those spaces, in those dark places that only you can go to, that only you can retrieve yourself from, okay? Whatever comes up for you, do with it what you feel, right? If you start thinking or even writing and you feel like this is just a one-off question, oh, that was a good, insight to have, great. But if you sit here and you answer this question and it prompts you to ask more questions, or it prompts you to go talk to somebody, or if you have a dream relating to it, follow that. Listen to that. Listen to the way that you are communicating to yourself. Listen to the message that is coming through from you for yourself, to heal from, to retrieve yourself from, right? Follow whatever guidance you receive. I hope that this was helpful. If you haven't already watched my other videos, please go ahead. There's plenty for you to look at. If you want to see more of my art journey and my business outside of YouTube, you can follow me on Instagram at Drea the Artist. That is Drea_the Artist. If you're in the Houston area, I host nature meditation trips called Nature Vibes. You can check all of that out on my website, DreaTheArtist.com. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.